Hi guys, welcome back to the Destination Baby and Kids YouTube channel. This is Gina. I am your host. Very excited to do a very fast video for you this morning, going over brand new car seats. So behind me, you're gonna see the Cybex Callisto, and then we've got the brand new Cybex Callisto 360 G. So before we launch in, if you haven't yet, go ahead, like, follow, subscribe. If it makes sense to share this video with someone, go ahead and share it. Sharing is caring. And then the other thing that I would invite you to do is visit my website, destinationbabykids.com. I'm a real brick and mortar store here in the San Francisco Bay Area. I would love to sell you a car seat and send it right to your home with free shipping. If you're learning from this channel, the best way to show your support is to purchase directly from us at destinationbabykids.com. Okay, commercial over. Let's launch into the battle of the Cybex Callistos. So, the black Cybex Callisto, that's going to be the original one that's been for sale for the last couple of years, and I do have lots of videos on this guy, so be sure to check those out. And then the gray one that you see here, this is the 360 Callisto G. So my suspicion is that they're adding G to it to make sure that the consumer or store owner or whomever is dealing with it understands it's part of their gold line. Their gold line is a step down from their platinum line. I'm not sure if the original Callisto is necessarily technically considered in their platinum line, but it does have better features, which is why it's going to be more expensive than the 360G. So let's talk about that feature difference, and we'll talk about the price difference as well. The black one is going to clock in at $749, $749.95. The gray one is going to be $100 less. So you're at $649.95. So what are we going to get with the black one that we don't get with the gray one? Well, those are fair questions. So I would argue there's probably 4 features that I can name that have at least a $25 value that would make me personally buy up to the more expensive model. But it is really awesome now that they have this other model in case those features aren't meaningful to you. So we're going to talk about what those are. All right, so first feature that you might notice that's a little difference on the products is that they're both going to come with what's called an infant pillow, but Cybex doesn't have the infant headpiece. So, or excuse me, they do have the infant headpiece on their more expensive of the 2 models, but on the lesser of the 2, you don't get the additional head pillow. So I'm going to bring these over. Now, the other thing that's going to be different is that they offer flame retardant fabric on both, flame retardant free fabric on both. But you'll see on the less expensive of the 2, the material is flat. On the more expensive of the 2, the material is absolutely, and I don't know if the camera's picking this up, but it is perforated. So there's little holes, maybe we'll see it on this guy better, but there's little holes actually in the material for breathability. So while both have ventilated plastic on the back of the seat for air to flow through, my argument is that the black material, the material on the more expensive model, is definitely more breathable, and there's just little holes in here that are like mesh to help air run through. My nephews were always sweating all the time, so for me, the breathability, very important. That would be a feature that I would care about. So again, you get the little head pillow, you get the perforated material. But again, both are still going to be flame retardant free fabric, so that's awesome. So that's one difference. Another difference that's very noticeable right off the top is going to be that the more expensive one has a sunshade. So the cheaper of the 2 does not include the sunshade in the purchase price. You could buy the sunshade for this car seat separately down the road if you wanted, and Cybex is going to charge you $100 for that. So instead of being $649.95, now it's $749.95, and it still won't have the additional features that the black one has. So again, another difference. With the more expensive, we get the canopy. So I'd argue those are technically 3 differences, but let's just count them as 2. A third difference, so we're at $25, here's our additional $25, is going to be sensor safe on the chest clip on the more expensive one. So this style of chest clip, Cybex has a free app that you can get on your phone, and it connects to your phone with Bluetooth. It will tell you if the baby's unbuckled that. It will tell you if you've forgotten your kiddo in the car. And I think it also alerts you if they're overheating. So This kind of buckle with that additional technology probably has a $25 value for some consumers, not necessarily for all consumers, but that would be a difference. Whereas on the other model, it is just a typical run-of-the-mill chest clip. And they do open and close the same way. So it's not as though it's a different type of buckle. It's still the same buckle. It just doesn't have the option to transmit that information. So both super easy to open and close, which is great. But again, you do get sensor safe on the more expensive model. So those are three differences, right? We've got an extra head pillow, which we won't even really count. The perforated material, that's the second thing. So perforated material, let's say 1. Canopy is 2. Sensor safe is 3. And then where's the fourth piece, right? Where's this additional thing that would get us up to that fourth $25 to get us up to that additional $100 price point here? Well, I think this is a great feature. This is on most every Nuna car seat, and it's on a lot of even like your lesser car seat brands. I know Britex has something like this in some models. I know Peg Perego has it on pretty much every model, where there's a way to have the harness buckle tongue attached to little magnets on the side of the seat. And so if you're not familiar with childcare, the reason why that's nice is that now when we're taking baby in and out of the car seat, we always have a place to put those pieces, so we're not digging those out from underneath the baby's tuchus every time. So it's a very nice feature. Again, on the gray one, we're not going to get the magnets, we're not getting the breathable perforated fabric, but it is still flame retardant free. We're not getting the canopy, and we're not getting sensor safe. We're also not getting that little head pillow as well. But again, so those are basically the largest differences between the seats. The amount of, like, the height and the weight restrictions on both seats are identical. So the seat will hold backward, I believe it's 4 to 40 pounds, up to 43 standing inches. For forward facing, it goes from 26.5 pounds through to 65 pounds in the 5-point harness with 49 standing inches. And then as a booster seat, it's gonna go to from 40 to 120 pounds, at least 4 years old. They would have to be 44 inches up through 57 standing inches. So they both have 2 position crotch belt adjustment, which is in identical spots, the same number of stops on the headrest, so that is all identical. And they both come with 2 sets of cup holders, which is fabulous. Now the other thing is that the more expensive of the 2 comes in more colors, and I would argue more attractive colors. So my number 1 selling for this guy is the tan color, which they refer to as like almond. You can't get almond on the cheaper one. The cheaper one's only gonna come in gray or black. So with the more expensive, you have black, gray, light blue, navy blue, and almond. So more color choices. Hopefully this helps clear this up for you guys. And remember, they're still gonna have the best rotation pretty much out of any seat, which is really fun. So you can turn it toward the door for taking kiddo in and out. And so they're both going to do that without any issue, and they both swivel 360 degrees. Okay, if you've got other questions, leave them below. If you have comments, leave them below. Let me know which one you think is a better value. Personally, I think the more expensive one has just better features for the price, but if you make a case for the other one, I'm always down to listen. Thank you guys so much for watching, and check out some of my other videos.